The first thing I'm going to say about the Marvels is let yourself decide whether you want to go and watch this. Don't let the internet, its negativity or positivity, is that a word? Choose for yourself, because I've seen arguments on both sides. I went into this with a negative opinion that this is going to be not great. So the Marvels, we have a Kamala Khan. She is wanting to be with Captain Marvel and also Monica Rambeau, who get thrust together, their powers get intertwined, and now there's a new big bad version of Ronan who has the purple stick, and it's a classic Marvel film like you would expect it to be. Now when we're seeing their powers combined, whenever they use a punch or a power move of some kind and they get swapped for wherever they are, that is when the filmmaking comes alive. The action here is a lot of fun, and actually their performances with the characters that they're playing, we have Kamala Khan, who is this, I guess she's the one that is the glue that holds the team together, because she is so happy to be there, but also a very realistic character. If you have seen the series from her character, then I think you'll have more backgrounding and weight as to why she feels this way, why her family are involved even in this storyline. Monica Rambeau, if you've seen WandaVision,
who are you? I don't know.
Then you'll have some weight for the story and the background with that, why there is this estranged kind of tension between her and Captain Marvel. When they get together and they sort that issues out, the team works together really well. There's a frenetic bouncing off of dialogue that works well during the fighting, so it's not just exposition dumping, or when they're doing a sort of, we need a montage, a learning moment. When they have that, it works well. When they're on screen together, it works well. And the special effects are also fantastic within those action sequences. The weakest part for me, and it often is in Marvel films, is the bad guy, because we don't know anything about her, except I've seen this argument where people say that she is the weaker version of Ronan, or just like they try to copy it. I actually think her version of the Ronan character is better because of why she is doing what she's doing, the weight, the reason behind it, not necessarily going about it the right way, but it actually is a lot more fun. And then there's a cat scene in this film as well that I think people had issue with. I loved it. I laughed out loud, and everybody in the cinema with me was totally enjoying it and having fun with that as well. So the enjoyment and the gags are there, and the lines and the dialogue seem to work, for me at least. There's a lot more heart and emotion than I was expecting from this film. Out of the definitely the new lot of films, it's definitely going to sit much higher than some of those, especially like Quantum Mania.
What is happening to me?
It just worked. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's not over 2 hours long. We have a nice mid-credit scene that works, one that doesn't work. I would say this was a much better film from the Marvel lot than I was expecting. If this is the trajectory that they're going to go on, I hope they keep this sort of formula, keeping it fun and light, but also have some weight. There is totally a moment where I expected them to do the Marvel thing, where you have a big moment of an emotional moment, a beat where it's just gonna hit, and then they come in with that classic Marvel joke. They don't do that in here. There's a moment that has huge weight, huge responsibility, an effect on these characters, some death is around, and they carry it and they let that stew for a bit. And that was a surprise to me, and I thought that's a nice way, because we've had so many of the Marvel movies where they just come back with the, oh, this is sad, now have a comedy joke. And that's not the case here. So it's not as crazy on the joke side as like Thor Love and Thunder, but it's not as like comedy heavy as Thor Ragnarok that works. It's sort of in the middle of that, has some levity to the characters because they are just genuinely fun to watch. I think that's largely down to Kamala Khan. Our Captain Marvel actress is doing a good job with her performance this time. The weakest character for me in this probably is Monica Rambeau, because we know next to nothing about her. We have seen a little bit of her character in bits of other series, but we haven't had anything with her of like weight. So she is just like the add-on, and then she gets more abilities in this that don't seem earned. So that's the weakest parts, but for the most part this was a much more enjoyable film than I was expecting. I came out with a huge smile, so I'd have to give this a solid 3.5 Nicolas Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
Which was surprising to me, because I expected to not enjoy this as much as I did. Out of all the new lot of the Marvel films that have come before, I think I would much rather watch this one again. There is a slight caveat though to my score. It comes with the proviso, have you watched the series to have the weight and background story, because I don't think you're going to appreciate this film nearly as much if you haven't watched all the content that kind of links it up together, which is disappointing. So let me know your thoughts and feelings about this film. Are you going to venture out to the cinema and watch this, or are you done with Marvel, or are you just waiting for it to drop on the Disney platform in 45 days, I think? Thanks so much for watching this, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long and Tuesday.